Hi everyone, this is Tim Bost with FinancialCyclesWeekly.com. We're talking today about how Astro-Trading intraday inflection points really work. They're very powerful. These points are based on planetary dynamics, the alignments of the planets. They occur some of the time on some trading days, and when we have them, we can confirm our intraday trading timing very precisely. We talk about these points every week on our conference call for our Gold Plus Elite members, and here's an excerpt from the call on October 23rd and the points that we talked about then.
Then finally, before we take a look at our stocks to watch for this week, we want to mention on an intraday basis, we like to track the highest likelihood inflection points. If you're tracking any market index or any stock that you're trading, take a look at the volatility indicators, take a look at trading volume as well. Occasionally on an intraday basis, we will find these inflection points in which there's a greater likelihood of a shift in trend, a reversal or some breakout from congestion, an acceleration of a trend, depending on what you're trading and how you're watching it. Just pay attention during these specific times of the day on an intraday basis, and you can often see some interesting phenomena. Occasionally we'll see a price level established that remains as support or resistance for the remainder of the trading day on one of these points. It's not always a dramatic reversal, but typically it's a significant time during the day, so we want to keep an eye on these particular times on an intraday basis. Our intraday inflection points, we have some of them for all the days of the week this week. On Monday the 24th, that we'll be looking at 11:48 a.m. 11:48, just a few minutes prior to noon on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the 25th, we'll be looking at 2:58 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 14:58 New York time for Tuesday.
So that's some of what we discussed during the conference call on October 23rd. Let's take a look at what actually happened in the markets those next 2 days. 11, we had called for an inflection point at 11:48 a.m. and this is right the spot that we're looking for right here at 11:45. These are 5-minute bars, so that's close enough. And what happened here is that we had this exact high that day. This was not the high of the entire day, but what had happened was we had a void of course moon prior to that on the trading morning, and the average had moved up throughout the morning until we got right to that particular point. We had a spike upward in that little bar there, and then price dropped back significantly and stayed below that level until almost 2 p.m. When we had a little run above that point. So this was an intraday inflection point. We don't always find the turning point for the entire day, but it's typically a significant trading point, and I think this illustrates the principle at work here, that we see this particular time occurring. If we move over to the following trading day, on the 25th of October, on Tuesday, we had an inflection point call for 14:58. That's 2 minutes to 3. So what we want to do is find the price bar for exactly 3 p.m. here. 14, this would be this one right here, which is in fact this one where we had a peak at that point, and that proved to be then the high for the remainder of the trading day. The market made one last attempt at a rally. This was a down day in the market, and it hit right on that inflection point that we had identified beforehand as an intraday timing point, and as you can see, it backed off fairly sharply from there. So the point here is that this provides us with some very tradable information if we can use it on an intraday basis. Okay, right now we'll take a look at the VIX from this same time frame that we just looked at with the diamonds. The same trading day, in this case October 24th, 2011. We note here that the VIX was moving down with a decrease in volatility that morning during this void of course moon period that we noted before. We're looking for a turning point at around 11:45, 11:50 here, and in fact these two bars, this one on the left here is at 11:45. This is the 5-minute bar for 11:50. So this was a significant turning point for the VIX as well. We had named the time as 11:48 a.m. Sometimes we can get it down to the minute. In this case, we're looking at it retroactively a little bit to see how we did with these timing points on an intraday basis. And in this case, we did get a very clear inflection point in the VIX. The VIX went up after that to a peak for the day, or for that rest of the trading day at about 12:55. But note here that this ended up being a level that was fairly significant for the remainder of the day. This point where we had at 11:48. We note that we did penetrate that level a couple of times, and then until the very last price bar of the day, that was providing some support at that level. But that proved to be a significant level for the VIX, and the important point here is that we saw a clear turning point in volatility at that particular juncture. Now let's move over here to the 25th of October. And in this case, we've got the 3 p.m. mark. It was at 2:58 p.m. was the turning point we had identified, the inflection point. In this case, this is our price bar here for 1500 for 3 p.m. And we note here with the VIX that things had dropped off a bit during the trading day. It had been fairly congested most of the time, and then as soon as we hit this intraday inflection point right here at 3 p.m., we saw the VIX climb up significantly for the remainder of the trading day. So this is how we work with these intraday inflection points. We can track it in terms of the volatility, we can track it in terms of the prices, but we will get different kinds of manifestations of it. In each case, what we're doing here is looking to identify in advance critical points during the process of the trading day to reinforce your decisions, and if you are day trading any market, these points will work.
So we want to encourage you to join us here at Financial Cycles Weekly as a Gold Plus Elite member and be a part of our conference calls each week. Hope to see you there soon. This is Tim Bost with Financial Cycles Weekly. Thanks for watching.